Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. I'm your host today. My name is Joanne. For anyone new here, I am the Director of Marketing and Life Training here with Legendary Marketer. And we have another amazing guest, as always. I had the pleasure of chatting with her a little bit yesterday through some text messages, and I'm excited for you all to meet her. Please, 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 as you can see, Dave is not here. Keep Florida, the Tampa area in your prayers, thoughts, well wishes, all the things. They have a second huge hurricane coming right towards the Florida area. We do have a few people on our team that are right in that area. Please keep them all in your thoughts and prayers, and that they are safe, and all of that. So hopefully we'll get through the week. We will get through the week. Well, that's for sure. But in the meantime, while Dave is handling that with his family, loved ones, where he lives, I have the pleasure of being here with all of you, and I'm pumped. So let's dive into this. And please welcome Becky to the show. Good morning, Becky. How are you
Good
today?
morning, Joanne. I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome. And this is your first time on. I know you're a little bit nervous, but you know what?
I'm a
Everyone is.
diligent listener, yes.
Everyone's a little bit nervous when they come on. So it's all good. So share with us what you were looking for. Were you looking for anything? Did this whole online thing kind of come out of nowhere? Give us your backstory of how this all got started.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to decide how far back to go once upon a time. All right. So I had left my marriage with very little money.
Okay.
Okay. And I hadn't worked in 24 years. I was home with my kids. So I managed to find a job through a friend, and it was enough money to support me. I was never going to be able to save any money
Mhm.
um, or anything like that. And we parted ways. I was too old for the job, basically. And I thought, okay, I got to make a change. I got to make a change. This just isn't working. And so I thought long and hard and decided, okay, I need to do something that's online, something that will give me flexibility, where I can be my boss and I can be where I want to be and make money and have fun.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I started looking online. I tried to do surveys. I That was about it. And then a friend of mine actually said, "Hey, my daughter says all her friends are making money online with this actually legit marketing." And I thought, okay, well, I'll check it out.
Mhm.
It was legendary. So I did a little due diligence, and I
Mhm.
found that you guys were legit. So
Yep.
I bought into the $7, and I was hooked. And I thought, oh my God, I can do this. But meanwhile, I needed a job.
Mhm.
So I found a job teaching nursery school, figuring this would be fun for me, and this would also, you know, give me some health care, things like that.
Right.
And also, it would not be incredible hours, so I would actually have the energy to do this.
Right.
So that was how I found my way to Legendary.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love that it was, like you were already looking for it, which a lot of people aren't necessarily. They aren't going, all right, I want to work online. Usually it's like ends up on their feed and they're like, yeah, I don't know what this is, and it
I've
takes a while, but
I've
you were
noticed
seeking
that.
it out.
I noticed that so many people go, "Oh, wait, what's this?" But yeah, I
Yeah.
actually found my way to it. I mean, that was last July, a little embarrassing, but um I bought in pretty quickly to the blueprints,
Mhm.
and being the perpetual student, I was like, okay, and I started going through everything on the blueprints and taking copious notes, and they're getting bigger and bigger stacks of notes, and I
Mhm.
was so overwhelmed. I thought, oh my God, there's too much to do, or I don't even know what to start with or anything. And
Mhm.
so I had to step back, um,
Mhm.
and uh, just take it smaller. Oh, also somewhere in there, another embarrassing fact, I fell for a scam.
Oh.
Don't fall for scams, okay? It was so stupid, but I did. And so that took up time being scammed. And then when I kind of came out of all of that, I thought, okay, now's the time. So I plunged back in probably in May,
Mhm.
just last year. And it was a call with Bonnie,
Okay.
just the 20-minute call that
Mhm.
made me finally launch, because she just said, just do it. And I thought, she's so
Mhm.
right. You can't learn anything being a perpetual student. At some point you just have to do it, and you really do. Just have to do it. And
Right.
yes, those original reels are really cringy and
Mhm.
bad. They're bad. But, you know, I think they're a little better now.
Yeah. All right. So let's unpack some of this because I think a lot of people can relate to this story. So there's a few different ways people go through the blueprints. One, they decide they bought the blueprints. They're not going to go through it. They're going to attend Decade in a Day and hope it's a crash course and that it's going to magically land all the information. And on the flip side of that, which is what you chose to do, which is I'm going to go through all of it and not take a drop of action or implementation, but I'm just going to have piles of notes. And the issue with that side of it is our blueprints are meant for to help you through years of your business, not just to launch, right?
Right.
There's this so you get all this information you're not even ready for because you haven't done the first few steps, and then it becomes so overwhelming that you have to take a step back and you take a break. And then you
Right.
go and you talk yourself out of this going, "Oh, there's too much information, there's too much to implement." When really if you just implement as you go, it's one little step and it's another little step and it's another little step. And then you get caught into this space of we'll say a scam. I'm going to assume, and you can correct me, that it looked like it was going to make things easy. And you weren't going to have to do any work. And you weren't going to have to take any notes. You just had to give somebody some money. And you thought this quick little dark alley shortcut of
It's so
promise.
embarrassing. It's so bad.
No, but it happens. And I really appreciate you sharing this because then we can have a conversation and hopefully help someone out there that's thinking there's this beautiful, shiny shortcut that says that everything's going to be easy. I'm not going to have to study. I'm not going to have to take notes. I'm not going to have to implement. It's just all going to be done for me. Right?
Right, but anything worth it, you have to work for. Anything in life, anything
Right.
and everything. Your
Right.
relationship, your job, money, anything. If it's worth it, you're gonna have to work for it.
And you know what I love most about your story is after you took the shortcut, the non-shortcut, we'll call it,
Mhm. Mhm.
you realized you didn't quit.
No, can't
And I
quit.
want everybody to get that. She didn't quit. She still went, I have the education in front of me. I have the steps in front of me. And you
Quitting's not an option.
went back to square one and started implementing. And that's what everyone needs to grasp here. And that was part of your journey. It's part of your story
Absolutely.
with coming online, and it doesn't need to be something that's embarrassing. It doesn't need to be something that what causes you to quit and hate life, and I'm never going online again. It's just like, yeah, I made that decision. I learned something from it, and now here I'm moving forward. And what
You
an
gotta
amazing,
fail forward. Gotta fail
yeah,
forward. I mean, those are your best opportunities to learn something when you mess up. Um, so take advantage of it, definitely. I remember trying to, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was trying to do something technological. I mean, I'm a baby boomer. Need I say more?
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Technology, no. So, but I thought I could do this, and I'm following along with Ryan. Um, and some point he says, "Okay, so now your screen looks like this." And I'm thinking, "No, my screen looks nothing like this." So I kept going back over and over and starting over, thinking, "How do I get my screen to look like this?"
Oh,
But I just thought, okay, like this isn't rocket science. I should be able to do
mhm.
this eventually. And, I could. Um, I've also gotten help from Ryan. Ryan's been my rock.
Yeah, I mean, you have the blueprints, you got access to all those access to them every day of the week. I'm glad you're using it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's been my rock and a lot of help. And yeah, and I think just some of it's just building confidence and also realizing that everybody who does this is just a regular person.
Yeah,
Um, and we just bring to it what we can. And, I just felt like I have to be real, no
mhm,
pun intended, real on my reels,
mhm.
and personal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give Ryan a little plug here. Let's talk about that because him and I had a little conversation about you, I don't know, a few weeks ago, which was because he was so excited with your results of what
Oh,
was happening. So you met with Ryan, which I love because I like you wanted some good eyes on your stuff, right? You didn't go ask another person that's at the same point in the starting out for advice. You went to somebody that you can trust, that you
yeah,
have access to, and you were given some advice and you listened, you made some adjustments.
gotta
So
listen.
in the last month, what has occurred on your Instagram page?
So for the first 2.5 months, every time I got a like, I was like, oh my God, I got a like,
Mhm.
and I built it up to 34 followers. I
Awesome.
thought, wow, this is like glacial, you know. And and then I'd had a meeting with Ryan. I said, "Can you just like look at this and just
Mhm.
what do you think? Tell me, tell me." So he literally, we went through a couple of my reels, you know, second by second almost, and it was just like, okay, do this, do that, do that. And some of it was just I had too many pauses.
Mm.
Just get rid of the pauses, okay? And and another thing I started doing was before every single reel, I made sure I read my um my business plan and my description.
Yes! That's my one piece of advice to everyone.
Well, I had originally heard it from you guys, but he reminded me to do it,
Uh-huh.
and I realized the the first reels I really wasn't doing that, and I was sort of modeling myself more on people out there that I'd seen. So I was speaking
Mhm.
more in platitudes, and you know so I decided, yes, once I started, before every reel, I still look at who is this I'm speaking to exactly.
Mhm.
And who I'm speaking to, by the way, is me like 5 to 8 years ago. Okay.
Right.
And so I can relate. I just have to remind myself. So I have to get very specific. And then I started using me, since I can relate, as examples. And I had to get very personal. And I thought, why not? Okay. So I got very personal. And then I was even excited because I got my own trolls. I was like, oh my God, I even got trolls. This is so exciting.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Take all the wins you can get, right?
That's right. And and then it started picking up. And of course, by then, about 2.5 months, I think the algorithm was trying to figure out who I was and must have figured it out. And, you know, they started coming. They started coming, and I've gotten unbelievably positive feedback, like thank you and people relating. Um, there's also the occasional um, person who's not as nice. And Ryan encouraged me to leave them on, though,
Mhm.
because what had started happening was my own people started arguing with them,
Right.
standing up for them.
Which increases engagement.
Because I was thinking, oh, I want it to be this really nice and safe place. And I do get rid of comments that are just so, well, inappropriate. I've gotten some
Mhm.
really inappropriate stuff.
Mhm.
I just get rid of that. There's just no place for that. And
Yeah, if you don't wanna deal with it at all, block and bless. Block and
yes,
bless.
yes, block and bless. Yes, I wasn't blessing, but now I will because you told me to. But I sure was blocking. And so if they're just a little clueless and maybe not phrasing things so nicely, I leave them on.
Mhm.
Maybe they'll learn something themselves, maybe they won't, but it's fine. People can disagree. I don't have a problem with that. So anyway, once I got personal and really looked at who I'm speaking to, so every single reel, that's who I'm talking to very directly. And
Mhm.
I can see the reels that do much better, they're much more personal
Mhm.
than the ones that don't do as well. And they're also um, more dramatic.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, my hooks, I realize that do well, tend to be a little more shocking.
Mhm.
And I think my people have figured out that that's not the whole story, though. I'm just using that to kind of reel you in.
Right.
And it's
You're
never
hooking them.
untrue.
That's the
I'm
whole point,
hooking them. That's
right?
right. I'm hooking them. You want to know the whole story behind that. I suggest
Mhm.
listen on. And that's kind of implied. So those have done much better than the ones where it's kind of, you know, here's a hack for, those don't do quite as well.
Mhm.
Um, And that's what I've been learning. Yeah. So Ryan really helped me. And I took what he said and literally just did it. And I went, oh my God. I remember I was like contacting him going, you can't believe this. It's more than like 4 likes. And, um, and it started shooting up. And, I've had as many as, I mean, I know for some people further on, this is nothing, but for me, it was a big deal to get, 500 or 1,000 followers in a day.
Yeah,
Um,
that's huge. That's huge.
so
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. And I feel more confident now. I also had trouble with what do I say every day?
Mm.
The content. So
Mhm.
originally, I was looking, oh my God, I would read books, I would go online, I did the scrolling trying to be inspired, and it really wasn't the best idea. But there was this great program you guys had that I got, and uh, and it helped so much. Um, because I started to, I got did the whole chart thing,
Mhm.
and I realized that the content, it is repetitive.
Mhm.
It's completely repetitive. I still do sometimes find a new thing a new thing to talk about based on the comments, what people
Right.
want.
Right.
And so and then I add that in. And then I kind of go back and just try to put in a different way to say it, a different way to talk about it. You know, sometimes it is a little more humorous,
Mhm.
ridiculous, and sometimes it's a little more serious.
Yep. And she's referring to, because it's in the comments, she's referring to one of our live workshops that we did.
Yes, sorry. I never remember the name of the workshops. It's
Our
terrible.
our live workshops are not to toot our own horn, they're pretty freaking legit.
They're really good, and I mean, I have gotten a lot of help, and again, I've had to learn instead of listening sometimes to the whole thing all at once. That's just me. I get
Right,
overwhelmed, and
right.
then I get I mean, like, I am a uh, recovering perfectionist.
Ah, yes, yes,
I have
common.
spent a lot of my life being sort of crippled by it
Mhm,
has to be perfect or don't bother. And
mhm.
so I've really had to learn to let that go, or I don't think I could have launched this because it's not
Yeah,
perfect at all. And there's a lot of room for improvement, and there always will be. And it was such a relief to let that go. I got to tell you,
yeah,
such a relief.
right, isn't that like a lot of weight to just release?
It really is. And then it would make me procrastinate so
Yeah,
much
and then it adds
because
more weight and more
And like,
weight.
yes, and about what? Nothing. I mean,
Mhm.
isn't that what anxiety is? You're just worrying about what might be. Well,
Right,
why worry about that? Just plan.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
plan.
It seems so simple, but you and I both know
It's
it's
not.
so hard to go, "Okay, we've gotta implement imperfectly as we're learning," right? And it seems like, okay, you watch a little bit, and then you do a little bit, and then you watch a little bit, and then you do a little bit. It seems like such simple instructions, but yet it's so hard.
It's so hard. And I'm like, I'm a work in progress. Like, I've been working on that for years now. So it's not like suddenly, oh, I think I'll just, not be a perfectionist anymore. Yeah, no, that's been a big thing for me. And I hate to say it, but mindset. It's all
Mhm,
about your mindset. And you have to, sometimes that takes a while
mhm.
to sort of work things out in your own brain, to have the right mindset to do these things. I also think it's a big deal to take failure and quitting off the table. Not a
Yeah.
thing.
It
Those are
just can't
just
ever be something you look at daily, because
no.
where it's if you keep it on the table, it will draw your focus at some point.
Yeah,
And
totally.
everything that we do, fail, get challenges, all depends on where our focus is, right?
Absolutely,
Which is
absolutely.
so I'm gonna go back, because I've seen some questions, and this ties in beautifully. This is why my advice has been and will always be, and I hope everyone here is listening and ready to write this down. Do not skip your business plan. Take it seriously. Make it detailed. I want it a few pages long. That's how detailed I want your business plan to be. And then I want you to read it. I want you to sink it in. And I want you to imagine you are now talking to this person that you have described in everything you write, in every video you create, every piece of content in your funnel, everything. And if you read that right before you create a piece of content, you're going to create better content. But if you're
Totally.
scrolling somebody else's social media feed before you make content, your content's going to look like them. And if you looked at or five different creators, 10 different creators, now your content messaging is going to be muddy. It's going to
Muddy,
be a
yeah.
mess. It will have no connection. It won't be your personality, because you put your focus on someone else instead of your ideal audience who you're trying to serve. That's in your business plan. And you don't have to have the blueprints to have a detailed business plan. Dave goes through it all on day 5 of any challenge that you own here. We go through it on day 5. And it's that important. If you are not reading your business plan before every time you film a piece of content, you're going to struggle. If you are not making and adding to your business plan weekly, you're going to struggle. It's that important. So I wanted to make that abundantly clear. It goes back to focus. It goes back to where your focus is, and that's huge. And then I'm going to ask this because you said it, and this is the topic nobody likes to talk about, but really is has more to do with your progress as an entrepreneur than the tech, and that's your mindset.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with you. She speaks the truth that your business plan has to be foremost, and that it's kind of a living, breathing thing. It's not written in stone. Of course, you should tweak it and even revise it if you need to. As you work more, you'll find that you need to and you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and mindset is everything. You have to, and I do think another thing you guys do that's great is you put the emphasis on helping people and giving them value.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's critical because that's really what I wanted to do. I need to make money, but that's not really my interest. My interest is truly in helping people. So I think that's much more motivating. Keeps you at it day after day after day, even when you don't feel like it.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel your confidence has grown from where you started with the challenge to who you are now?
Mm. Um, I think that just doing it, you know, just having the faith that, okay, just keep doing it, keep
Mm-hmm.
doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Um, and also I would keep sort of going back and looking, at stuff from the blueprints and other things that you guys have put out to sort of figure out how I could tweak it. Um, I think as time went on, I just felt more and more comfortable. And the other thing is, at least for me, I just can't think of these things as speaking to thousands and thousands of people. I
Right.
literally just, in my mind, I am speaking to this one person, um,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 2 or 3, 5 even. But um, and then it's not so nerve-wracking. Like I'm having coffee with a friend.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
that's to me the vibe I want. And then also I'm not so
Mm-hmm.
scared. And so my confidence just started to grow. And of course, at some point when you start to catch on, your confidence just grows much more because you realize you're speaking to people and
Right.
it's making a difference.
Right. Definitely. Let me see if I can share this. We're going to do a little lesson. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. I haven't shared on here before. All right. Can everyone see a business plan? Can you see a business plan? Yes, no?
Yes,
Yes. All right.
I can.
All right. I got it. Everybody can see this business plan. We are sharing this guy right here, the travel niche. So when I have seen business plans sometimes come out, this species section right here is like maybe 1 or 2 sentences only. And I want everyone to go back to their business plan. I want you to give your ideal audience a name and I want you to describe them. So we have adventurous Alex here. I want you to go into extreme detail. Look at all of these little nuggets. And this is all your future content. This is all your future emails. And it just describes Adventurous Alex to a T. Here's all the things Adventurous Alex is struggling with. And when I say add to your business plan, as you go further on and you're making content and you're getting feedback from your audience as you begin to grow, you're going to add to these pain points. You're going to think of more also. And then desired outcomes. What are they looking for? What do they want? How can you serve them? How can you give them what they're looking for? And you're going to add to these too. Okay. This is just one section of the business plan. And look at how much detail it is. What Alex prefers, what he fears in activities, places he wants to visit. What is he wants to do 1 to 2 trips per year, and then a lot of local smaller trips. And then you tailor your content to speak to that person. But this is how detailed we want you to be in your business plan, especially in this first part when you're defining who your audience is, who you're trying to reach. It's huge, right? It's just huge. So I hope that's super helpful for everyone to at least get a little peek inside of what that needs to look like when you go back. And I know that first time through on day 5, everyone's just throwing down a sentence or two, but then they never revisit it.
Yeah, you got to revisit it. Yeah,
Right?
and that person becomes more three-dimensional, so to speak.
Yeah.
And yes, and then your content is totally speaking to them. What are their issues? What are the problems? What are the pain
Mhm.
points? And it's like obvious then what your content is.
Right. And I love that really helped you make a change. And what's cool, guys, is
Huge.
she went from being excited about 34 followers and 3 likes on a video to getting 500 followers in a day, and now sitting here going, it's not that many. And everyone watches like, I want 500 followers in a day. Do you see how this progression happens? But it all comes back to stop looking at everybody else. Stop looking for shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
Stop looking for, well, I saw Susie over here with 100,000 followers and she did XYZ. And that's actually not what I was told to do in the blueprint. So I'm just going to ignore it. But now I have no growth for the next 3 months. Right. So it's really
Totally.
go back to what you purchased, your education, whether it's the challenge, because there's a ton to get started in the challenge on content, especially the 5-day challenge now, the updated version. It's massive. And just learn and do, learn and do, learn and do.
Learn and do. Learn and do. I agree. Totally got to learn and do
Yeah.
little by
Um,
little, and you got to keep going back
yeah, for sure, which I love.
and
You
try
have
to have fun.
right? So how do you add the fun into it? You had the heavy tech, you're feeling overwhelmed. How did you find, because I say the same thing, but I sometimes feel the virtual eye rolls when I say it. So I want to ask you, how do you find the fun when you're creating content and you're starting out?
Well, I will say not every day is fun. Some
Mhm.
days a drag. Um, I have fun trying to be creative. That for me is fun, and
Mhm.
I feel excited to try to be creative. Um, I also think it's fun to help people. Like, I just get a huge charge from that. So
Yeah.
for me, that feedback is fun. Then I think, oh, okay, this is what they need to hear or want to hear. This I think will be helpful. And to me, that's fun. Um,
Yeah.
Call me weird, but that's to me, that's
No.
fun.
I think as
And
humans, we like to, we at our core, we like to serve. We don't want to feel like a lot of times we feel uncomfortable. We feel slimy if we're feeling like we're asking, begging, looking thirsty, right? I don't want any of y'all to look thirsty online. I want you to just be that person that's, yeah, I got some advice for you. I've been there. Hey, I got a story for you. Can you relate? Right?
Right, right. Well, that was actually I took from you guys, and even finding a niche, which Bonnie sort of solidified for me, but realizing taking something that I truly feel passionate about and could relate to was absolutely going to be the way to go. And trying to fit myself into these other niches because, oh, that's cool, or that could be interesting. Or, I'm kind of interested in that. Wasn't going to do it. It has to be something that you feel strongly about.
Right. So was Bonnie your advisor, or was the call with Bonnie want the free accountability call?
Yeah, the freebie,
Yeah.
because I had no money.
Right. Okay.
So
I love it.
so
I love that you
so
took advantage of it. And
so
I'm like,
it turned
guys,
out that
there's
was like it. And
there's so much gold in that free call, huh?
oh my God, there was.
Mhm.
And now I pester Ryan. And he's been great. Like I talk to him every couple of weeks and it seems to be enough for I'm sorry about my dog.
Oh, you're good.
Um and um Yeah, but I think help. I mean, I have support like in
Mhm.
my family and my partner and everything. So I'm super, super lucky in that way.
Right.
Um, but they have no clue what I'm doing. My
Mhm.
kids are like, "Yay, mom!" Like, what are you doing? Um,
Mhm.
so I realized I really needed somebody who has a clue what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
And sometimes just that 30-minute call is all you need to just gain some clarity or
Yes.
even just
Run it
gain
by
some
right.
reminders,
Run it
right?
by somebody, to run it by somebody,
Yeah.
and I guess certainly not that confident that I have a clue, because a lot of times I just don't. I have an idea and I gotta have somebody say, oh, this, that. you know Last call I had with Ryan, he brought up things, wow, I'd never even thought about. I mean, I was speechless, which is pretty uncharacteristic of me. And I said, okay, I gotta go through this and process this, and we'll revisit it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You shared so much gold today. I want to leave you with the last word. What's your advice for somebody brand new in the challenge? Just starting out, still trying to figure all of this out.
Hmm. Take it at your own pace. Don't
Mhm.
listen to what other people do. Some people they jump in and they start a week later, and other people really have to sort of sit on it and
Mhm.
digest and go slowly and work on your mindset a lot, and take failing off the table and take quitting off the table. That's just not an option. The pace you go is fine. You can go slow or
Mhm.
fast, but just take that out
Right.
and fail forward.
Yeah, I love it. Well, you have to come back. I want updates. I want updates for
Sounds good.
sure. I love it. You are a pleasure to have on. Thank you for
Thank
sitting down and
you.
chatting with me today.
Such an honor to be here, really.
Oh, it's an honor, our pleasure to have you. So thank you for coming on, and we'll talk soon, and we'll definitely look for an update with you. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Oh, so nice. What a great episode. Please go follow Becky on Instagram at Becky the Resilient. All connected. Becky the Resilient on Instagram. Go give her a follow, comment, let her know that you saw her interview on Wake Up Legendary. And she mentioned she took advantage of the free call with one of our mentors just to get some clarity. It's a 30-minute call where you really go into what's going on with your business, your progress, lack of progress, get some tips. Um, it's a solid, helpful, complimentary call that we're doing with our mentors. All you need to do is email dave@legendarymarketer.com. In the subject, you can put accountability. In the subject, you can put free call. Either one will work. and Dave will connect you to one of our mentors to book your free call. We've even had some people go as far as to reach out to Dave and say they want the free call, get the link, and then get scared to actually book the call. Guys, if anyone is an example of take advantage of everything that's in front of you, it's Becky. Becky's pulling everything she can from everywhere and implementing. You have access to a free 30-minute call to just talk about your business, where you want it to be, what the roadblocks may be, and get some advice of how to get over them. Hop on the free call, email dave@legendarymarketer.com with the subject free call or accountability. And of course, if you would like to check out our 5-day challenge, learn, launch, lead, head over to legendarymarketer.com/enroll. On that page, you can also grab a ticket to our upcoming mastermind. And we have a payment plan option on that bad boy now as well. So you can check that out there. And there's also a link to the affiliate marketing business blueprint if you're looking for just that bad boy, which is pretty awesome as well. So head over legendarymarketer.com/enroll and hop in the challenge. Check out what this is all about. It's $5 and it's loaded. It is absolutely phenomenal education, guidance, support that's given for $5. So if you're on the fence about the challenge, definitely go check it out. Like I said at the beginning, please keep Dave, our team, everyone in Florida with this hurricane that's heading towards them in your thoughts and prayers as we get through this week. And as always, stay legendary. Peace.